Well, folks, it's been almost a month since the last time I popped on and done a podcast. So, you are all certainly welcome back in. I do apologize. I haven't been on for a few weeks. Been busy dealing with other stuff, with work and all that. So, finally, it feels good to be back. I said I'd pop on for about half an hour just to wheel in, getting back into the gist of doing these pods and these videos. Because when you're out for so long, it feels like I haven't been on forever, to be honest. So, be good to see the names back in. How he's all feeling about this weekend, about the game yesterday. I have a good bit to talk about over the next 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So good to see Paul in, good to see Christoph in. If this is your first time coming across the channel, please click the subscribe button as well. So last time I was on was the being around the Bayern Munich second leg, the last time I was on. And you know what? We played well that night in the Allianz Arena. It was heartbreaking stuff. We've obviously progressed into the semi-final of the Scottish Cup as well. We'll either play Aberdeen, Hearts, St Johnstone or Livingston in the semi-final as well. We have a big derby game the weekend on Sunday. You know, extend the gap. Basically, the game that wins us the championship in my eyes. I know realistically, it's not magically confirmed this weekend that we win the league if we beat Rangers. But let's be realistic. There's no way that we're going to throw it away. It's been a good month of football. You know, looking at days of my stats has been phenomenal. I'm gonna put your stats up on the screen as well. So the number tonight I said around sesh. So I'm glad I popped on. Just get this over and done with. I was nervous going on tonight and chatting to you because I haven't done it in literally a month. I know people are wondering where was I. I just took a bit of time off just to focus on my job and other stuff that was going on as well. So let's see. This is days my ages stats so far this season. Let's wait for this to load now. He's played 41 games, 27 goals in all competitions, 9 assists, 4 yellow cards, and then the red card. Obviously, that was against Young Boy Champions League, but he's just absolutely standing this season. And we were all skeptic when Kyogo left. We wanted another striker in, but Dazen has been unbelievable. He's had to step up, and will he get the 30 goals this season? Couple of hat tricks so far this season. Just as I've said this so many on the channel, of the 3 Japanese players we had just before Kyogo, we said my favorite. I just like you, and it's crucial that we keep my this summer because there will be interest from clubs down south. There will be interest from overseas as well. They'll want Days in Maeda, but a massive part of our success, and it'd be hard to replace a player like him. But look, people have been asking me the last couple of days, work and other places, do you play Maeda in the middle on Sunday? Do you play Ida in the middle? Do you put Maeda on the left to cause Tavernier problems and then bring Jota on? Look, we're all excited about Jota coming back and, you know, playing his first Glasgow derby since he's left nearly 20 months ago now. It's crazy, time flies in. Well, we've got a bit to talk about tonight. Don't be afraid to get the questions in. The numbers will go up. The chat will go up. I know, as I said, it's been a quiet 4 weeks in this channel. I know a few people have, you know, unsubscribed. I don't blame them for unsubscribing when there's no content being put up. You want the day-to-day Celtic content of what's happening, what's going on with a certain player, what's going on in regards to injuries, what's going on in regards to the club moving forward. I know we've planning permissions gone in for the store just off basically on Queen Street, just on the corner near Argyle Street, a superstore as well. So club's moving in a good position. Even like we're like the 17th in all time of all the clubs in Europe for short sales. That just shows like we're up there with the big boys because the Adidas deal has made Celtic a lot of money. Crazy. The American economy is problems for Sefco. I'm just sitting here. Look at regards to them and their 49ers deal. I don't really care, to be honest. It'd be good for Scottish football. It means that there's more interest from overseas. But Celtic as a brand is much superior than Rangers as a brand, regardless of who comes into their club, what money they get injected, all this partnership with the 49ers, linked in with Leeds United. I don't really care. All I care about is what we do as a team, and you get gobshites where, Celtic haven't won a knock like from the other side. Celtic haven't won a knockout game in 10 years. Yeah, we did win a knockout game. We actually beat Zenit St. Petersburg in the Europa League about 6 seasons ago. So, like, it just shows the mentality of them, and they're like, I'd rather be in the Europa League than be in the Scottish Cup. Well, maybe if you're going for a treble, you'd have a different attitude as well. They're just raging. Yeah, they got a good result in Turkey the other night, but they're just raging that they got dumped out by Queen's Park. And yeah, they'll have a game midweek. But we're in a fine position to clinch this treble now. And I don't think anyone's going to stop us. I don't think Aberdeen will stop us. I don't think Hearts will stop us. I don't think St. Johnstone or Livingston will stop us. I think, realistically, the only team that could have stopped us from doing it was HIBS yesterday. They had that streak behind them. They only caused 1 or 2 chances against us yesterday. It was just a commanding performance yesterday. And yet again, another goal from Moyede. Yet again, a goal from Ide. It's just overall dominance. And you know what I have to say? It's good that there was that 7,000 allocation for Hibs in the cup game. I know there's different opinions about this coming derby, about them getting around 2,500 tickets for this derby, but I've made it clear in this channel. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I welcome the whole thoughts of having away allocation back for these derbies, because yes, we don't like the thoughts of them coming to our stadium and perhaps maybe ripping seats up and causing damages to the toilet and just up to the normal nonsense is normal. But at the end of the day, if you want our supporters at Ibrox after the split, we have to do it. And Celtic were being the adult here in this conversation, where, you know what, we'll get you in, but you just have to give us a slice of the cake as well. And I don't know if it's going to be a case where next season, will we see back to the old allocation before they threw the toys out of the pram and start crying because they couldn't hack when Odson Edouard scores? Look, as fans, some fans are angry that they're getting back in. They don't want them back in. I understand the frustration. I've said this 100 times on the channel. Yes, they do smash the place up, but if there's more security and better policing for this, there shouldn't be that much trouble. And plus, Celtic have put new safety precautions in and new measures in as well. So the only reason they couldn't guarantee our safety, because obviously they were out of Ibrox at the time. They were in HAMPDEN at the start of the season, but I think it's good. It makes the derby a bit more spicy, to be honest with you. I know a lot of you would rather see them seats full with Celtic fans, but I think we're going to destroy them the weekend. I really believe we're going to destroy them. I can't wait to see Barry Ferguson absolutely raging. And don't get me wrong, they're going to be up for it. They are going to be up for it. They're going to come out all guns blazing against us, but once we get that early goal, their arses will fall, and they'll just. So I'm not being too cocky, but I know there's enough in the tank. I know we can go to 5th gear, as Brendan Rodgers said yesterday in his post-match reaction. We needed to go out and show the fans the real Celtic. There has been performances this season where the real Celtic have just literally been very sluggish. But we'll get there. And they will have that. This is the benefit of Celtic now, where a game each weekend instead of midweek games. We could just analyze games, get the guys training. Everyone fighting for the shorts. Hopefully James Forrest will be back soon as well. I know Bernardo's out for another week or so, I think we have enough in the midfield. I think Arne Ingles has stepped in and has been done absolutely fantastic this season. I know there's a few years around November-ish, December-ish, still underestimating Arne Ingles as a player, but he's getting there. Stats are pretty decent. You know, he's scoring penalties, he's providing assists, he's getting man of the match performances, and you know it's not going to be easy coming into a club where there's such a high demand of winning. You know, spotlights on you. You're the most valuable player, regards to transfer fee wise. You need to go in there and make a statement. I think he's done really well. I'd probably rate him about, you know, 7 out of 10 so far in his Celtic career, and I think he will go strength to strength. I think when you get a good proper pre-season under him after this campaign, and you know he comes back and he knows his teammates, and he's, you know, I think he'd be fun. I think he'll do well, and I think he's going to be a big player for Belgium as well. And he's only young. What is he? Only 22. So we have a player there on our hands. And look, Matt O'Reilly, he's a name in the past. And Matt O'Reilly, regards to him, he's frozen out of that Brighton squad. He's not getting much time. But look, the grass always ain't green on the other side. And I think Matt will probably have to go somewhere now to get game time if he doesn't get a chance at Brighton. And he's not a problem anymore. Like Kyogo's not a problem anymore. Kyogo doesn't regret leaving Celtic. He wants to pursue getting into this Japanese squad, but yeah, he's not getting game time for Rennes. And am I annoyed at Kyogo? No. His career. He does what he wants to do. And you know, it is a bit, I feel a bit sympathy for him, but at the same time, you're going to a club that's like down the bottom half of the French league and expecting, you know, to be, look, the manager got sacked literally days after Kyogo came in. So that's just why it hasn't worked out for him over in France. And would I take him back? I know I sound crazy when I say this. I wouldn't take him back. I think we need to move forward. He's 30 years of age. He has a dodgy shoulder. I'm thankful for the memories. And, you know, if you're taking players, like I know I say I'd probably take Christopher Roya back in the summer if he's available, because he's a bit of fuel in the tank to still go in his career. Kyogo's 30. He's pushing for a spot in the Japanese squad. He won't be knocked at near that Japanese squad if he's not playing. Simple as. It's a World Cup year coming up for them. And that manager's already frozen out of the squad a couple of times. So I can't see him even getting near that squad. 4-1 Celtic. Thank you very much, Mark, for the donation. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate 20 people tuning in tonight. I'm just on YouTube tonight as well. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Tell us what you think the prediction is for the weekend. Most of all, tell us your starting lineup. Is it going to be the same one that you played against HIBS yesterday? Tell us how you're feeling. Did anyone watch the overlap interview with Kasper Schmeichel talking to Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Jamie Carragher, Ian Wright? You know, it's a bit of Celtic connection in that overlap there was. Obviously, Keane had his stint at Celtic. Wright had his stint at Celtic. And obviously, Kasper has done phenomenal. You know, what a guy. What a guy. And you get these emotional attachments with these players because he gets the club. He knows, as he said in the interview, he's never been at that club. He's never been at a club where the demand for winning is so high. Like he was at Leicester and they pull off an absolute unbelievable story in football, winning that Premier League title back almost 10. Would have been nearly 10 years ago. Well, now about 8 years ago. Like unbelievable. Obviously, he played with Jeffrey Schlupp at Leicester when they won the league. Then Jeffrey obviously moved on to Palace. But we'll talk about Jeffrey in the podcast tonight as well. You're probably wondering the pictures. I've moved my table as well. If you're just wondering, like what's kind of a little bit different. But yeah, 3-0. Look, in the tank, we should be beating them 4 or 5-0. But it could be one of them games where it's, you know, it could go anyway. It could be both teams to score and Celtic to win 2-1. Anything can happen in football. And I remember being out with my missus watching the game, the Kilmarnock and Rangers game in the pub, and they were going on like they won the Champions League or the league. The fans jumping over, and I'm like, "He's at 14 points behind. Get a grip to yourselves. Get a grip to yourself." That's the mentality. Because you get a former player in. Let's be honest here. He never played for that club. He played for the old club. The old club. He needs to put that into his mind. You know, they're not still at this. They're not the same club. Liquidated, done, dusted, died. 2012. So, regards to Jeffrey Shillup, his goal against St. Mirren was really good. I think his energy levels is phenomenal, and I think he is twice the player than Greg Taylor. And congratulations to Greg and his missus on the birth of the newborn little girl. And, you know, Greg is going to be moving on this summer. And I wish Greg the very best. Over 200 appearances to the club, a treble winner, a double winner. You know, I wish him the very best. Well, he's won 2 trebles with Celtic. When you look at it, perspective. But really, really good times. And I just think Jeffrey has a different pace. Physically more stronger, faster on the pitch. Look, he's 32 years of age. I know Greg is 27 and all. But Jeffrey has the whole package. And when Tierney comes in the door, I think the rotation between Tierney and Jeffrey would be phenomenal. I think we're gonna need a player like Jeffrey Shillup to come in, because Tierney will probably only play about 30 games a season. And I know some of you start watching tonight will be like, why we sign this guy back? He's only going to play 30 games a season. Because you need players that can come in and be leaders as well. And be leaders. And I think Tierney, we need that. Like, look, Greg Taylor, Brendan kept saying that he loved working with Greg on and off the pitch, and, you know, working with him in the training ground, and he's been a good professional. But it's Tierney's a different level, and Tierney's fit. Tierney's been playing well for Arsenal, even though I know they drew to Man United. Yes, I don't even know if he played that game, but I know he came on against PSV midweek. So yeah, he's getting minutes, and that's the most important thing. With him coming back to Celtic, like he's accumulating them minutes, even if it's 10 minutes or 12 or 15 or 20 minutes for Arsenal each game. It just means that he's getting them minutes on his belt. He's not. Is there a bit of caution in there when Celtic fans look when he's coming on playing for Arsenal? Would he get a bad injury? And of course, we're worried about that, of course. But I think Tierney's a good athlete. He's took care of himself over the last 6 months coming back from injury, and he knows that he's coming back home, and he won't be getting them stuck in hard tackles that he once was doing. But Scottish football will be a test for him again, because the pitches are worse up here than Premier League pitches. It's more physical up here. Is it technically better? Nowhere near technically better. But players will be out. Players want to be able to break Celtic players' legs, and sadly, some players are like that. We've seen it in the past with players that we played against, especially in them plastic pitches. I know the plastic pitches won't be around next season in the league. They're moving at the grass pitch, and I think you never know. Kilmarnock might get relegated. Killy could get relegated. They're in a relegation battle, and McInnes might get the sack as well. But could be the game where Celtic clinch the title at home to Kilmarnock. We shall see. But yeah, Jeffrey's class, Mark. He's been class, and I think he won over me in the second leg of the game. Second leg in Munich. I thought he was just outstanding for the whole game. I just thought his energy levels, physicality, getting up the pitch, crucial interceptions. And I know it wasn't meant to be that night for us, but I just thought it was one of the best Celtic performances in Europe. Yeah, we lost the toy, but we didn't lose the game. And you take encouragement from that. And we know going into next season, there has to be a bit of quality brought in, especially if our neighbours across the other side of the city are getting taken over, and they're going to be spending. We need to spend, but we don't need to spend massive amounts of money. I think we need to go out and maybe potentially spend 25 million And that 25 million is the Champions League. Realistically, that's the Champions League. Let's be honest, Rangers are not going to qualify for the Champions League with their 2 or 3 qualification rounds they have to play because they're going to finish second. Us being the champions, we're seeded. We will have to play a playoff round to get into the Champions League. And look at some of the teams that we play against: Austrian, Swiss, Lubarets of Bulgaria. It's going to be tough toy. They're always decent when it comes to the playoff round. But if they're going to get Brendan the chalice, I realistically think Brendan Rodgers might stay on for another season or two. I think, yeah, it could be very repetitive playing only 11 teams in your league and playing them potentially 3 or 4 times a season. The pitches are not great. Some of the stadiums are still empty in Scottish football, and that's down to the clubs of not filling some of their stands or not giving Celtic the stands. And I still think he will stay. I think he will get a contract renewal. I think he'll stay for another season or two. I'm sure there's talks in the background. We're into March now. I'm sure there will be crunch talks regards to giving Brendan, because he's gone into his final year of his contract. I'm sure clubs will trigger that contract as well. I know this sounds very premature. I know people might agree with me or disagree with me in this, but I would not be surprised if Tottenham come knocking at the door for Brendan Rodgers if Ange goes. I know they took Ange from us, but I won't be surprised. I don't think he would go to Tottenham. I think he's enjoying life in Glasgow. I think he's matured as a manager more. I think he's more relaxed than he was the last time. Yeah, he doesn't show the emotions at times, but he's more relaxed. You could just see that, he's enjoying the football. He's enjoying working with these players. He's enjoying the journeys on this time around. And I think the whole scrutiny that he got in the first season coming back has, that pressure off him of clinching the double, getting a Champions League win in there, making a point this season, the Champions League. I think he's evolving the team to a level. And hopefully we can go to another level. And the other level is, if you make the landmark of a treble this season and you've done playoff football in the Champions League, that's a magnificent season. Like, if you said to me at the start of the season, would you accept playoff and a treble? You'd be like, that'd be unbelievable. That's hard to do, but it's possible. And we have lost Kyogo, and at the moment we're not feeling it because we've had Dazen stepping up. We've Edith stepping up in some capacity. I think McCown has been outstanding in the last 6 weeks. I think McCown, I'd love to see McCown start the weekend. I know he's probably going to go Rio over Luke McCown, but I think McCown, he's not a bad player. Wouldn't be a good player. Not a bad player to bring off the bench in a derby as well. I just think the whole fire in their belly, Luke McCown, but Rio against them, he's been outstanding as well. So I heard a rumor that Eriksen. No, I wouldn't take Christian Eriksen. I think he's done. To be honest, I think we have the quality in that midfield. I wouldn't be going for Eriksen. Look, there's been talk of Lennon Miller. I read an article today that Motherwell want up to £10 million for Lennon Miller. Look, he's a promising aspect coming out of Scottish football. He hasn't played much in the last 3 months because of an ankle injury and stuff like that. I haven't been monitoring his last game he even played because I've just been focused on other things. But I wouldn't pay 10 million for Lennon Miller. Especially, I know we spent 11 million on Arnie Ingles, but he was playing in the Bundesliga. I think pushing for Lennon Miller maybe about 7.5 million. And I know some folk are going to be like, well, we spent 9 odd million on Ida. Lennon Miller, it's a midfielder. We have the midfield there. We have Bernardo, we have Ingles, we have McCown. If you got 10 million for a Tate, yes, why not? Use that money straight into Lennon Miller. But at this moment in time, if we're keeping a Tate past the summer, I'll be pushing about 7. I know there's interest in England. I know there's interest in Italy for the 18-year-old Motherwell midfielder. But see, they're demanding because you know that Celtic want to develop players. You know that Celtic are sniffing around. This is what Motherwell do. And I don't blame Motherwell. I really don't blame them for thinking like that. Like, one of their key assets, they've done it with Turnbull. But I'm delighted for Yang as well. I think Yang has been outstanding. You know, I wrote Yang off about 4 months ago. I said Yang's not good enough for Celtic, can't cut the sauce. He's stats and games. And I'll be honest, I'm eating my words. I think he's just got this new energy about him. Scoring goals. You seen the 2 goals he scored against St. Mirren a couple of weeks back in Paisley, 2 headers. Like, you could see that coming off the bench, Yang is a product there. I don't know if you have said on the channel and picked up for Yang and said, Keats, yeah, Yang this, Yang that. 2 seconds, this siren's gone past. Bloody ambulance, the noise of it. I don't want to be putting, you can hear the ambulances in the background and stuff like that. But I was gonna say to you is, I think Yang has been unbelievable. He's had to get his call up for the South Korean team as well, the national team for their World Cup playoffs as well, up qualifiers. So a part of me thinks I still believe he needs a MILF, a lone MILF. I still believe, yes, we're starting to see a bit of end product with Yang. Maeda, Kuhn, Jota. I think I would send Yang on loan for half a season. And look, I think James Forrest final. I think this is James's final, not this final season, next season's his final season. I think, yeah, James can bring a bit of magic as well. But I think Yang, if he gets that more game time and more maturity, I know someone said Yang's girlfriend came to Glasgow. Probably that's a big factor as well. At the end of the day, we're human beings. We have emotions. If we miss family members, it's affecting our sleep. It's affecting our health. It's affecting, how we go to work and get on with things. And at the end of the day, we're human beings. And I think HIBS would be ideal for Yang in the summer. I think send them on a 6-month loan, just let him develop. Of course, with Jamesy as well, and Jotton and Keown, and there will be. I'm not trying to step on the eggs here and kill the buzz tonight, folks, but there will be interest for either Tate, Maeda, Vickers, Johnston. There's been talks of Ipswich Town, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, all interested in Alistair Johnson. What do you expect? AJ is an absolute machine, he is. And it's all paper talk, It's all paper talk. Actions speak louder than words, and I think the club will end up get rid of one big key asset, as they always do. They sell it for 20 or 30 million. They go back out and they spend about 15, well, not 15, about 10 million on a player. We shall see. But regards to this top, I have to say, I'm not a big fan of it. Now, I'm just going to show you this now. Just 1 second. I think this is disappointing in Celtic, to be honest. I'm disappointed in their marketing team. I know, like, Adidas and Celtic are doing really well regards to jersey sales, but 90 quid, 90 pounds for the top that Celtic are not going to wear. Yeah, they might wear it walking into the stadium the weekend in the derby, but quite disappointed with the price of it, to be honest. Like, it's a cost of living crisis and people are struggling as it is to keep up with, with their bills, and No one's putting a gun to someone's head and saying, buy this top. Look back at the Irish Origins top from 2023. You know, it had the alphabet on it, Ford Clover, the colour, the arms, the tricolour, much better design and cheaper as well. I think Celtic, even with the jacket's £130. The whole jock jacket, I would like to call it. I just think the prices are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I know it's limited merchandise and it's for St. Patrick's weekend and stuff like that, but they've already brought out Clobber in October, Novemberish, Lustig models. The green and yellow Clobber. Don't get me wrong, I have the top. Love the top. Everything is unbelievable. But the club need to stop. I know it's some fans are welcome the merch being brought out, but like put the price down. Put the price down to 60 quid. And another weird thing is this jersey, if it's still in stock in 6 months' time, this will be down to £35. £35. Which you're just paying for the logo and the crest. Like you could get that, you could probably go onto that Adidas website and probably get that t-shirt, very similar t-shirt like that to probably 30 quid cheaper because the crest is not put onto it. And look, the crest is cool. It has a shamrock and the clover and like it changes and stuff. But just for the crest, for the top. So I'm gonna just remove that for a minute. So yeah, it's nice, but I wouldn't pay it. Wouldn't pay, to be honest with you. How's it going, Ian? What's the story? Hope you're well. As I said, I've just been busy. I know I don't have to come on and explain myself to anyone, but I know people are probably wondering. I haven't seen a video from Keith. What has he been doing? Is he still alive? Because I can't see Keith. I can't see the Rangers, but I can't see Keith as well. But Keith is back. Keith is back. I'm happy to be back, and I have to give it. I'll tell you one thing. I'll give Mrs. the credit for this because I've just been very, very busy with dealing with stuff, with family stuff, and Mrs. kept saying to me, Keith, you need to get your finger out. You need to start getting back on. You need to start doing these podcasts for people that watch you on a regular basis. You know, at the end of the day, they like watching you here talk shy for an hour. They like to see what the gossip is. And she gave me the motivation, a good kick up to Bishop Brennan to get back on and do this podcast. So, as I say this all the time, I know I'm come and go on the channel. I turn around and say 6 months later, oh, I'm taking a break and taking that. It's just busy. As I always say, it's just the life I signed up for. You know, you've work, you have a relationship, you have kids. You know, it's trying to fit this in. I love doing this. This is my hobby. This is me place I vent. This is my place where I engage with. This is where I get people to come in and, you know, chat as well. I really love doing it, but in the last 3 weeks, I haven't been in the frame of mind. Like, I'll be honest, I missed the Celtic and Dundee United game. Missed that because I was in Oban. Coming back from Oban, couldn't get a decent stream for it. Watched the Celtic St. Mirren game. And sometimes when you're not in that frame of mind as much as you look forward to the games and you want to talk the games, you want to see Yang score and Maeda score and Callum McGregor come up with another cracking goal. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and focus on the bread and butter, which is, you know, helping yourself and working on that kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm glad to be back. I know the numbers are quite short tonight, but the corporations don't care about you. Exactly. You're just a number at the end of the day, Mark. Just a number, making numbers to them. You know, if you don't buy it, someone else will buy it. Simple as. And that's the truth. And I know there was a lot of reaction online last week with the Celtic top, this merch being released and the price. And I just let the club be reasonable and say, right, £60. What annoys me is, hey, I don't like this. I don't like putting any comparison with marketing, because at the end of the day, we're our own market, we're our own product, we're our own brand as a club, we're our own identity. But you're going through Glasgow airports and you're seeing a Celtic shop and you're seeing a Rangers shop, and Rangers are putting up their strips for 20 or 30 pounds, while our club is putting their strips for 50 pounds. I know they're skint at the moment and they're getting rid of the store, but like, why are we not selling jerseys for 30 pounds? We have a massive fan base. We have a massive contract with a kit supplier. Why are we not? We're into the final 2 months of the season, and why are we not selling these jerseys for 20 or 30 pounds? Well, 30 pounds, 35 pound, even reasonable, pushing 40. You know, like, I just don't get it. I really just don't get it with the club. I understand Adidas probably have, a probably a clause in their contract where they're not allowed to reduce it down to a certain rate. But come on, like, look at this here, right here. I'm gonna put this on the screen for you, right? A second, this laptop's very slow because I haven't been on in weeks. Feels like I'm using dial tonight. Back to the old BT Telnet days, eh? Let's see. I want to show you this, right? So, seen this last night in Transfer Market on Instagram. This is a great website. I use this all the time for everything. So, Real Madrid, as we would know, Real Madrid short sales, merchandising sales, 196 million. Now, look at Bayern Munich, 171. I'm actually quite surprised. I know they're in second place. They're kind of on, well, joint with Barcelona. Liverpool had to sign a new deal with Adidas today of 65 million kit deal per season. Celtic, 17th. 17th. Head of Roma, ahead of Ajax, ahead of Besiktas. And then I'm a massive force. That's right, these Istanbul teams. Like, up there with the Milans. 35 million we made last season on merchandise kit sales. And I know I've watched other podcasts and I've seen other podcasts talking about this and saying the product Celtic, but you need to be realistic. Put the price at an affordable price, because you look at 10 years ago, football jerseys were more affordable. You'd go into the Celtic shop and you could buy 2 or 3 things. These days, you're going in and scraping to buy one top. And I just think it's obviously inflation's there and cost of living and everything. Price of goods have gone up. But yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy. But I'm gonna leave it there tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night. I just said tonight was just a kind of take the ropes, the cobwebs, take the ropes off, the cobwebs off, and put a bit of WD-40 on it. Get back in the gist of things. I'll be honest with you, I haven't been watching much podcasts from other people. I haven't been bothered watching much stuff because I've my head's been in other places. But I'm getting back into it. We'll back in. I know Celtic are playing Cork in July, or playing Cork City in July in Park McQueen in Cork. Potentially might look at going to it. Look, if it's good for Celtic fans in Ireland to go and see their team, if they don't get over to regular basis to Glasgow, like, it's an expensive trip. People think, especially the good old Scots Star, around the corner, or a couple of hours away in Paradise. Yeah, you're paying the petrol stuff, but these folk are paying, airports, hotels, spending money. Then you might buy a jersey or two, scarf. It's a lot of money for just a trip over to Paradise. And I have to say, give it to the CSCs that do it all the time, from Dublin, from Belfast, from other parts of Ireland that come over on a regular basis. Fair play to you. You do well. Look, got a friend lives in Cork, hoping to get over for that game to see me, mate. That'd be fantastic. I've never been in Park McQueen in Cork. This is the third time they've used Park McQueen for a football match. Obviously, God rest his soul, Lee Miller, I think it was back in 2017. Celtic legends, Ireland legends played Man United, Park na Queeve, because Liam Miller obviously had affiliation with the GAA in his younger days, and then obviously played for Cork City as well. Obviously Celtic and Man U and Ireland. I've seen him play for Ireland many a times. Gone to the games. And then he used the second time they used Park na Queeve was for Ireland against France in the women's football. But yeah, it'd be a good venue. Good venue. Be something different. It's just I think it's a shame that they had it on a Tuesday. But look at obviously the Cork GAA are, you know, there's money to be made that weekend, and so if they're playing in the Munster as well, if the hurling's on or the Gaelic football's on, but it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. So folks, I'm gonna leave it there. Just want to say thanks very much for everyone that tuned in tonight. Rusty show, just to, you know, put the face back on, few debates, but I will be talking about in more detail over the next couple of days. I'm looking forward to getting back on tomorrow night. We'll get Facebook streamed on as well, so we'll have Facebook people that getting comments in as well. But I'm really happy to see familiar names come in, and I'm still alive. I'm still here, still alive, still doing well. So please subscribe to the channel if this is your first time coming across, and I shall speak to you tomorrow night sometime, maybe about the same time. We shall see. Speak to you all soon. Have a good night. Hell.